At 78, Rob Reiner finally tells the truth about Carroll O'Connor. Rob Reiner was born Robert Reiner on March 6, 1947 in the Bronx, New York. He grew up in a house where telling stories, performing, and being creative were just everyday things. His dad, Carroll Reiner, was already a huge name in comedy, writing and acting on famous shows like Your Show of Shows and later creating The Dick Van Dyke Show. Growing up like that gave young Rob a close-up view of comedy, timing, and how to tell great stories. It also gave him a natural understanding of show business, though he would eventually develop his own special style as a movie maker and actor. Different from his father's work, Reiner first became famous as an actor in the early 1970s when he played Michael Meathead Stivic in the groundbreaking TV sitcom All in the Family. His character was the liberal son-in-law who was always arguing with Archie Bunker, played by Carroll O'Connor. This show became one of the most socially important and talked about programs of its time, using comedy to deal with serious topics like race, politics, gender roles, and differences between generations. Reiner's acting earned him a lot of recognition and respect. It wasn't just a career-defining role, but also a launching pad that gave him the confidence and visibility to move into other creative areas. While many actors might have stayed typecast after such a signature TV role, Reiner instead remade himself as a director with incredible range. His first movie as a director came with the 1984 cult classic, This Is Spinal Tap, a fake documentary that has since become one of the most loved comedies of all time. What made it special was its razor-sharp making fun of rock culture and its straight-faced delivery, which fooled some people into thinking it was a real documentary. The film showed Reiner's ability to capture humor in ways that were both silly and truthful, a skill that became a trademark of his career. After that, Reiner directed a bunch of critically praised and commercially successful movies throughout the 1980s and 1990s. These included Stand By Me, 1986, an adaptation of a Stephen King story that tenderly explored themes of friendship, death, and growing up from childhood to adulthood that remains one of the most touching coming-of-age films ever made. He then directed The Princess Bride, 1987, a film that mixed different genres by combining fantasy, romance, comedy, and adventure. Though it didn't make much money at first, it became a cult classic and is now considered one of the most universally loved films in movie history. Reiner's ability to do different things showed again with When Harry Met Sally, 1989, a romantic comedy that changed the genre with its clever dialogue, real exploration of relationships, and unforgettable moments like the famous diner scene. The film was a cultural milestone and helped cement his reputation as a filmmaker who could mix humor with deep human truth. He followed this with the intense military courtroom drama, A Few Good Men, 1992, which showed his ability to handle high-stakes drama with the same skill he had brought to comedy and romance. The film had some of the most iconic lines in cinema, including Jack Nick, "You Can't Handle the Truth," which has become part of American pop culture. Audiences first noticed his versatility when he appeared in the pitch-dark comedy Throw Mama from the Train, 1987, a film that paired him with Billy Crystal and Danny DeVito, and gave Reiner the chance to show his sharp comic timing. He continued to remind viewers of his acting range in Nora Ephron's beloved romantic classic, Sleepless in Seattle, 1993, playing a role that added humor and humanity to the story of love and second chances. Woody Allen then tapped into Reiner's skill for unusual comedy by casting him in Bullets over Broadway, 1994, where he proved he could do well in witty, fast-paced dialogue. From there, Reiner showed up in a bunch of films during the 1990s that cemented his status as a dependable and likable supporting player, including The First Wives Club, 1996, the political drama Primary Colors, 1998, and Ron Howard's satirical look at reality television, EDTV, 1999. Each performance, while different in style, highlighted Reiner's ability to adapt to whatever story he was part of. Reiner also frequently appeared in his own films, often giving himself roles that allowed him to make fun of Hollywood while helping tell the story. His most iconic self-casting remains his turn as fake documentarian Marty DeBurgi in This Is Spinal Tap, 1984, the cult rock mockumentary he directed that became a cornerstone of comedy film. He later gave himself parts in The Story of Us, 1999, and Alex and Emma, 2003, where he balanced humor and emotion, as well as a more serious supporting role in Shock and Awe, 2017, his journalism drama about reporters investigating the Bush administration's case for the Iraq War. These performances showed his ability to shift from satire to seriousness without ever feeling out of place. Beyond scripted roles, Reiner has often been willing to make fun of his public image. He made playful cameos in comedies like Dickie Roberts, former child star, where his willingness to parody himself showed his self, and in 30 Rock 2010, where his appearance was a clever wink to fans who knew him as both an insider and someone who makes fun of Hollywood. He later charmed a new generation of viewers with recurring appearances on the hit series New Girl 2012 to 2018, where his character added depth and warmth to the quirky group cast. And in 2013, he surprised audiences with a role in Martin Scorsese's The Wolf of Wall Street, holding his own alongside Leonardo DiCaprio in a film filled with energy, chaos, and sharp performances. Even in recent years, Reiner has continued to remind audiences of his lasting importance. In December 2023, he opened the primetime CBS special Dick Van Dyke, 98 Years of Magic, with a heartfelt tribute and on-camera conversation with Dick Van Dyke himself, bridging generations of entertainment history. For viewers, the moment was a reminder that Reiner is not just a participant in Hollywood's story. He is a living connection between the golden age of television, the groundbreaking films of the late 20th century, and the changing landscape of today's entertainment. Rob Reiner's personal life has been marked by two important marriages that shaped not only his family but also the course of his creative journey. In 1971, at the height of his growing fame as an actor and before his career as a director had taken off, Reiner married actress and director Penny Marshall. Marshall was already a recognizable figure in the entertainment industry, known for her comedic charm and her rising career that would later blossom with her work on the beloved sitcom Laverne and Shirley and her future success as a groundbreaking female director in Hollywood. Their marriage put two highly creative people under the same roof, both deeply involved in the entertainment world. During their marriage, Reiner legally adopted Marshall's daughter, Tracy Reiner, who was born in 1964 from Marshall's earlier marriage to Michael Henry. Tracy would go on to carve out her own career as an actress, appearing in a number of well-known films, including A League of Their Own, Apollo 13, and Die Hard. Though Rob Reiner and Penny Marshall eventually divorced in 1981 after a decade together, their union had lasting importance not only in shaping Tracy's life, but also in cementing bonds within Hollywood's connected creative community. Even after their split, both remained influential figures in the film and television world, and their time together continues to be remembered as an era when two trailblazing artists shared both personal and professional lives. Several years after his divorce, Rob Reiner's personal life took another big turn during the production of one of his most iconic films. While directing the 1989 romantic comedy When Harry Met Sally, Reiner met photographer Michelle Singer. Their meeting was lucky and unexpected, not only changing the path of Reiner's personal life, but even influencing the film itself. According to Reiner, his relationship with Singer inspired him to change the original ending of the movie. At first, he had planned for the two lead characters played by Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan to go their separate ways without a romantic ending. However, after falling in love with Singer, Reiner reconsidered, deciding instead to give audiences the now famous happy ending that helped make When Harry Met Sally one of the most celebrated romantic comedies of all time. Beyond its movie impact, their connection grew into a lifelong partnership, and Reiner married Michelle Singer later that same year, in 1989. Together, they built a family, welcoming 3 children into their lives. Jake, born in 1991, who would later follow in his father's footsteps with a career in acting. Nick, born in 1993, who pursued a path as a writer and has spoken openly about personal struggles, even inspiring Reiner's 2015 film Being Charlie. And Romy, born in 1997, the youngest of the Reiner children. Their family life has been one of stability and love, with Reiner often crediting Michelle for bringing joy, balance, and renewed purpose into his life. In many ways, his marriage to Michelle Singer not only influenced one of his most famous films, but also gave him the stability and inspiration to continue his long, multifaceted career in Hollywood. Rob Reiner, now a celebrated director, actor, and activist, has lived a life filled with remarkable experiences in Hollywood. But one of the most important and meaningful periods of his career came when he worked alongside Carroll O'Connor, the legendary actor who played Archie Bunker on All in the Family. For years, fans wondered about what the relationship was like between Reiner, who played the liberal son-in-law Michael